Some dude hibernated every winter for 25 years.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
Happy Memorial Day to all you Americans out there, and thank you to everyone for joining us today.
Okay, you know what we do for you? We find weird stuff. And then we tell you about it, and then you can do whatever you want to with it. You want to talk about it next to the water cooler, or the locker,
Or at a party.
or outside of the car, or wherever, so you seem like a person who knows weird stuff.
Or in a tunnel.
Do whatever you want to, just do it responsibly.
And give us a little bit of credit. Like, I came up with this, but you should also watch Good Mythical Morning.
Okay, I want to tell you about Arthur Turkey Gurkey. Here he is, toasting us all. He's a happy-looking fella. Okay, why are we talking about this guy? Okay, Turkey Gurkey started in 1913, hibernating.
Now, I have never
He was 30 years old.
heard of this.
Okay.
I've never heard of Turkey McGurkey. I've never
Turkey
heard...
Gurkey, there's no McGurkey. That's me. I'm the McGurkey around here.
I have never heard of a human being hibernating.
Well, you have now.
So
That's all about to change. That's all changing right now, Link.
So he would go to sleep in like what?
In hibernate.
October, November?
Okay, for 25 years, starting when he was 30, so we're already a little bit behind. We can't do this now unless we live longer than he did. He started in 1913 when he was 30 years old. He did it for 25 years. He would hibernate from November to April. Through the winter, my friend. Okay.
What?
Lots of questions begin forming in your mind when you hear about a human hibernating. Let's just talk a little bit about hibernation.
Like why, how, and why?
Okay, so first of all, hibernation is a state of inactivity and metabolic depression. Hibernation is characterized by low body temperature, slow breathing and heart rate, and low metabolic rate. So,
and bears do it. This is my Bitcoin. Bears do it. Humans don't do it, okay?
Okay, well, bears are not the only animals that hibernate. Okay, but you do know, everybody knows, this is a little cliche at this point. Bears, yes, they do hibernate, but they eat a whole lot of food.
They get fat,
and then they go and they just get knocked out for an extended period of time. Now, they're not the only, and they basically live off the fat deposits during that time. Now, they're not the only animals that do this. I learned this in my research. One primate actually is known for regularly hibernating. It's the fat-tailed dwarf lemur.
Oh, the fatty-tailed dwarf
If you
lemur.
got that fat tail, you can just sit there and, I guess, siphon off of it all winter while you hibernate.
Is that really where the energy comes from?
Bears, of course. One bird, the common poorwill. The common poorwill is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be the only bird who hibernates. Squirrels hibernate. Not tree squirrels, ground squirrels.
Ah.
Ground squirrels, like little chipmunks and stuff like that run around, they hibernate. They'll fall asleep in there. Rodents, not rats, but some rodents. European hedgehog, butterflies. What? Some insectivores, some monotremes, and some marsupials also hibernate. So it's a kind of a common practice out there in the animal kingdom.
But you didn't put humans on the list. And when bears hibernate, I've often wondered about this since we're on the subject. Do they poop and pee? Do they use the bathroom while they're sleeping?
Do they?
And do the moms have babies while sleeping and stuff? I think all of this happens and they stay asleep, right?
I'm glad you asked that, Link, because I have the answer. Okay, so some animals do get up to do the pooping and the peeing while they hibernate. But bears, and I guess some other species, but definitely bears, eat a combination of moss and dirt to plug themselves up. Put a cork in there, and they don't.
Do they eat it, or do they just fashion one? And
No, I don't think it goes in that way.
It's not like a wine cork.
They know it's like, oh, but here I am. I've got all my fat deposits. Now I got to eat some moss and some dirt, and then create a plug.
It seems like you would do it the opposite way. You'd eat the moss and the dirt, and create the cork, and then eat all of the things to make the fat deposit.
I don't know exactly. Well, no, but it turns into fat. It's not just a food that's sitting in their stomach. They get a bunch of fat, and then they put the plug in, and they don't get up to poop and pee. They actually sleep a little bit lighter than a lot of people know. They can kind of get up and do a lot of things if they have to, but they don't poop and pee. And they all are also known to actually have babies sometimes. Several species.
I was right about that.
Will have babies while hibernating, and the mom will wake up and be like, that was easy.
Junior.
I slept right through that. There he is, you know. So anyway, Is that what happened, or can that happen with humans? Well, maybe. Swedish snowmobilers, guys who ride snowmobiles in Sweden, stumbled upon a guy who had been trapped under the snow in his car for 2 months with hardly any food. And a doctor who examined this guy figured out that the guy...
He's alive?
He lived. He had lowered his body temperature to 88 degrees Fahrenheit. So a good 10 degrees down from where it should have been. And his whole metabolism had slowed down. He basically had entered a hibernating state.
2 months?
And when you sleep, you take your oxygen intake down about 6%. But Harvard Medical School professor Herbert Benson has studied Tibetan monks who can meditate and bring their oxygen down 64%. Wow. So these dudes can basically just through meditation induce kind of a hibernating state. So
they can also do the opposite and make snow around them melt.
Yeah, I've heard that too, Link. Now, is this what was happening with Turkey? Well, before we answer that, why did he do it? Why did he hibernate?
Yeah.
It turns out he suffered some sort of illness, some liver illness related to some shock. I can't find it in the writings about exactly what he suffered, but the dude suffered a crazy event and then he had a liver illness as a result of it, and he stayed in bed for a really long time and he felt better and he was like, you know what? Every winter I'm going to do this because it makes me feel better. And he started doing it and he did it for 25 years until he died.
November to April?
In his sleep, by the way. He died in his sleep. Okay.
Well, chances are.
I hate to burst your bubble, but Turkey was not a Tibetan monk, and he didn't eat moss and dirt and plug his butt up. he did not do this. He was a large man that had many fat deposits that he could draw on, and he did that a little bit, but he actually would just get in bed and stay in bed from November to April, and he would get up and to use the potty. And that's what he said. He said, I got to get up and use the potty. And his wife, who somehow was able to put up with this, brought him 2 sandwiches and a glass of milk every single day. He ate one meal. He's like, baby, I'm up. Got to relieve myself in a couple of ways. Give me my sandwiches and my milk. And then he would go back and he would lay down. And he did this for that many months.
And what was his job? I mean,
he was a tavern owner.
Oh.
He owned a bar. So what he would do is he would let the guy that was working for him man the tavern, and he would get his wife to do everything else. I mean, what a woman that was willing to put up with this guy's like, sometimes I'm like, baby, I want to take a nap. And my wife's like, okay. I lose a little bit when I take that nap. This guy takes hibernates for months on end.
I mean, so it's not technically hibernation, but it's still absolutely amazing and probably sad.
It's a little bit sad. There was a fire in the house next door to him one time. He didn't get up. There was a bet one time.
He didn't wake up?
A guy said, no, he just didn't get out of bed. He's like, I'm hibernating, man. I ain't going to help with the fire. The fire's what the fire department's for. I don't know why I think he talked like this, but a man who chooses to hibernate.
He could talk like that.
And there was a bet that one of his friends made with him on New Year's Eve one year. They said, I bet you won't make it to our New Year's Eve party. And they bet him $25. And he was like, okay, and he got up and he went to the party. So he wasn't that committed to the hibernation, but he was so committed to it that he basically has become, the reason we know about this is because there was all these newspaper articles written about the guy. He was like a natural wonder where people were like, hey, can we go see Turkey? Can we go look in the window and see Turkey? And if he's sleeping and how, because he's the man who was hibernating.
Did he outlive his wife?
No. That's the other time that he got up. His wife died, and so he got up to handle her affairs and help her get buried and stuff. So he was able to get up. I mean, the woman dies while the dude's hibernating. I mean, what kind of marriage is this? But anyway, we're talking about him on Good Mythical Morning, so it's got to count for something. Here's to you, Turkey, and half of your life that you spent in bed.
Thanks for liking and commenting on this episode, sharing your hibernation. Would you hibernate? Would you do that? If you could?
Support the show by signing up for a hassle-free mobile experience with Ting.
Go to rhettlink.ting.com, $25 credit. You know the drill. Save some money on your mobile phone deal.
And you know what time it is.
Hi, I'm Lucid Frenzy from Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada, and it is time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
They may not hibernate, but miniature horses do make regular appearances over on our Instagram feed. Every Monday, as a matter of fact. That's today.
And plenty more! Instagram it up. Also, click through to Good Mythical More, where you're going to share me some personal encounter that you had on your camping trip?
Well, that's probably overstating it, but yeah, it's going to be great. Rhett hosts a game show that Link doesn't know he's on. Okay, Link, the moment has come that we've all been waiting for. You make the decision. Which door is it gonna be? 1, 2, or 3. There's a Mazda Miata behind one of them.
Mazda Miata?
Mazda Miata. It's a little car. I don't really fit in it, but you... No. Sorry.
3?
Which door is it gonna be?
3. There's no door. 3.
All right, 3. Washing machine. How do you feel about that? I would have preferred the Miata.
I don't see a washing machine.
You know you're on a game show, right? There's something changed. Something changed about my boys this weekend. You know, they became a little bit more of a man. They
collectively.
They pooped outside and buried it.